Okay, so we move to the next speaker, Mr. Sudarshan. He is the founder of WayMark. Sir, over to you. Your
Thank you so
introduction
much.
is, I mean, the entire world knows you. You've been my professor at Xavier's, and you've been also part of the public relations and investor relations. You are also part of the railways, I suppose, right? So you have a fantastic journey to share with, and now you are a coach. You are coaching the CEOs and also the young generation business people. So thank you so much for joining us. Please go ahead, sir, with your topic. Thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that introduction, making me feel like a veteran now. Okay. To
Congrats.
start with, I would say that my exposure to the investment world was way back in 1993. Okay, that when I was working with Pressman Advertising, handling IPOs and other things. So those days, 30 crores was considered as a big issue. Okay, so I'm saying that uh, the context wise, what 30 crores was in 1993, and when the issue used to be about 30 crores, the star people of the agency would be put on the account, okay, and the entire work would kind of happen. But here, of course, the topic being innovation as a lifeblood of trust, that is where we are essentially starting. So when I say that, what I want to say is I take the world of investments, and I perhaps will give a small parallel to 1983 World Cup, okay, where the team was just there. The team had no managers. The team just had a manager. It didn't have a coach. It didn't have a physio. It didn't have motivational people or blah 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 and all that. It had those 15 players who played the game. Okay, and perhaps stock markets also existed something like that, where there was perhaps a broker with very few set of analysts per se, which essentially came in as, and compare that to the 2011 World Cup, where we had a coach, we had measures, the team size, that 15 people played in the team, but there was a almost a equal team size as a support staff. Okay, so stock markets and investing, etc., has obviously come to this entire world. The rising investors, again, I will put it that in 2020 there were about 4.2 crore investors. Today we have crossed 10 crore investors. Okay, and I'm just looking at what the stock markets are. And here I would like to kind of look at when we are talking of trust per se. Okay, I want to look at two instruments. And when I say two instruments, I'm looking at the conventional financial instruments, which essentially is the banking products and the insurance products. I call them organic. Okay, and I am looking at the other instruments which I call as dynamic. Okay, so today a person is looking at parking, a normal person, okay, who has not much knowledge of the stock market, is looking at parking 20% of his funds into the dynamic funds. Okay, when I say dynamic, is all the stock market and other areas. So if you take India per se as a, I mean, you take a case of a person who is a typical government employee, okay, probably 6 lakhs is his income, and I'm taking a start level or a mid level kind of a person. If 6 lakhs is his income, okay, 1.2 lakhs is available for the stock markets, okay, and hence the innovation of attracting. And the second thing here I want to say is that, do I trust companies? Okay, probably not. I trust the system. Okay, so people say market mein paisa dal, itna itna nikal. Okay, so again the companies etc. are word of mouth that happens. I don't know whether I put money into this particular company by trusting this company by going through all the information as a lay person. So that is what I want to say. And thanks to all this, from 83 to now, what has happened is a whole new industry of fintech has emerged. Okay, so if you said fintech, uh, maybe 20 years back or 25 years back, people would think, what is this industry? Okay, but fintech today is the flavor. And another one called the regtech, or the regulatory technologies also, which have come in. Dr. Sundaram beautifully covered the entire thing of the regulatory technologies. So we are talking of rebuilding stronger foundation. Innovation is actually rebuilding stronger foundation. It is not disrupting. Okay. The second pillar on which the Indian stock market will get built is the communication confidence. Okay. So, I think transparency as a word has almost, I would say, become a taken for granted, or it is beyond the new normal. What we are looking for is active communications. Okay, and when I say active communications, I'm sure we all fall victim to this because we see something, uh, forward it in a WhatsApp group, and suddenly somebody says this is fake news or this is AI or this is whatever. Okay, so that is to do with the active communications. Okay, tell me, 20 years back or 25 years back, did you ever hear the term fake news? Okay, so there was no fake news that fake perhaps existed in other sectors, but fake never existed in news. Okay, so fake news itself has been the entire thing of a generation of clickbait that is there, because suddenly you see, I mean, not just related to stock market per se, but somebody says that so and so, the former captain or the ex captain or some player of India was a fixer. Okay, you click it and there is nothing about it. So that was a clickbait. Okay, same way, stock market, there are a lot of companies that resort to clickbait, because if I say that ABCD company will reach so and so by so and so time, you would start thinking that here is an analyst who's done a wonderful job and he's predicting the future of the stock market and has done analysis. You would be surprised to know that that was a clickbait to talk about myself, how great I am. Okay, so that apart, it's important to build communication confidence in an era when communication channels are mushrooming by the day. Okay, whoever thought of, I mean, internet news in the first place. Okay, then came, before that came the satellite televisions, etc. Okay, and now are what we call as blogs and WhatsApp groups. Join my WhatsApp group, get a day. Okay, no, I don't run anything like that, but I'm saying the kind of offers that come. Okay, join my Insta page and do this. So every individual today has become a media, and every individual is attracting people, which essentially is becoming what I will call as a communication confidence. Okay, so that's what is the second part that I want to say. So two-way platforms, okay, which actually tell us, or like a industry body which says or certifies a certain thing as genuine, are something that people really want to go to. So when we buy a product, we see a ISI mark. Okay, so probably when we see a news and we see a VRIGHT exchange mark, it's like saying that we'll trust this because it comes from this particular place. Okay, now platforms like this, okay, and I am always kind of inspired, since you told me railways. Okay, I had worked in the railways some 35 years back as a commercial clerk, but the word platform to me as a railway person is always something different. Okay, and I see the platform in the context of what you see in today's terms, in digital terms. When you say platform, there is a platform number one, platform number two, platform number three, platform number four. That's what most of the Mumbai suburban platforms have had. Okay. And the maximum confusion happens when you have to change a platform. Okay. That a train that was supposed to arrive at platform number two arrives at platform number three, or platform number one arrives at platform number three. And you see this entire set of population that runs up the stairs and changes a platform per se. Okay, platforms essentially are enablers. Okay, you go to the respective platform where you want the right thing. Okay, so here I will repronounce right as we right thing. Okay, and get the thing that you actually are looking for. So that enablement of platform is something static. Okay, it's the people who come and make that platform so active. Okay, so I'm sure, and I'll take the example of the suburban platforms again, that the slow train platforms are more populated than the fast train platforms. Okay, just a small observation. So that is, more number of people go by slow trains, or rather the number of stations that it can take you through. Okay, rather than the fast train platform, because it only stops at 10 odd stops or something like that. So that's with regard to the platform that one is talking about. Uh, Hence, I'm saying that all of us are not spectators, we are co-creators. So all the participants in the platform, okay, become co-creators and not just spectators. Because in the old models, I mean, if this was a newspaper, if this was a website, if this was a channel, okay, the objective would be to look for audiences. Okay, so number of readers, number of people who would log in, what is their eyeball, what is their stickiness, and etc. etc. This has to be a platform where it is not just about all these things, but about co-creation. Okay, so all platforms in the world which have taken off on the formula of a co-creation. So co-creation is very important here in this platform. And now let me come to something slightly technical, because this is a bit of a research that I did, and I will share that with you, because when I'm sharing of learning from some global models, okay, here I'm saying that Singapore and UK have shown us how regulatory sandboxes accelerate safe innovation through collaborative pilots. Okay, so the sandboxes are basically experimentative innovation that one can try. Okay, with regard to companies also. Okay, so this Singapore and UK have done things like these, and probably the Indian markets can also look for something like this. And again, that data transparency and citizen participation are bedrock of trust, which is basically the Scandinavian model. Okay, so this is what I generally want to say as the four pillars: as innovation as the lifeblood, okay, communication, confidence, continuous engagement and co-creation, and the final one being where we are looking at the international collaborative models of building our platforms. Okay. So in conclusion, all that I can just say is that there has to be real-time transparency, inclusive collaboration, and adaptive learning. And that journey with VRIGHT part starts with us, and it starts today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudarshan sir, for your wonderful insights on how innovation, communication, and trust is creating a vibrant financial and can create a vibrant financial ecosystem. You beautifully put all the analogies of railways and all that. Thank you so much for your insights.